All right, Mr. Pack.
Howdy.
It's another fantastic Tuesday. Welcome to Schroeder Good News.
Yeah, I'm shooting on location from Schroeder High School, room W8.
Where everybody is coming and going with locker cleanouts, I'm told.
Yep, it's great to be here, back in my room. It just feels good to be sitting in my room again and not at a card table in my bedroom.
Out of curiosity, was there a on the board from like March that you were just shocked to look at?
There was like outside my door, there was the One Warrior Week schedule and like the clues from the scavenger hunt. I have a bunch of stuff like on my desk from that week. Yeah, but I didn't have like the date written anywhere or like a homework assignment.
I like after all this COVID planning with detailed lessons and things that I've done, I looked at like my schedule when I walked in today briefly and saw like, wow, I'm terrible at that. Like it was more like just I did these three things, which was like a list. I'm gonna work on that for next year. So welcome to another episode of Straight Good News. We got a lot of awesome people backstage ready and waiting.
Action-packed show.
Good news to share this week, first and foremost, is huge day coming up on Friday.
Tell us more about it, Mr. Eckler.
I'm about to. All right. The day on Friday, we're going to have our seniors salute. So a lot of seniors I know have hopefully been getting information about it, a lot of staff. And there's been a ton of people who've put a lot of hard work and time and planning into this day, really for the last month. So what we're going to do is Spry teachers and Schroeder teachers are going to align the routes going into Schroeder from Shoecraft. So students will enter from Shoecraft, and they'll come in, say the Spry teachers first at a stop, and then get to the next stop where they're going to get their cap, gown, gift from the class 2020, and yearbook. And then you're going to exit right as you turn right there at the sign, and then hopefully stop again to see a lot of other Schroeder students or Schroeder staff members who are along that route that are going to be waving and things like that. And we're hoping to have a few more surprises along the way. And then that's the plan. And any high school senior can show up between the hours of 10 and 12 to do that. And then they can go to the elementary buildings following that or even before and do the same thing. So this is in honor of the graduation walk, which would have been this week. That we usually have the seniors in their cap and gown go to the elementary school and do the walk, which is always fantastic. And of course, the class 2020 is not on that. So we're trying to recreate that in a new, fun, enjoyable way. I'm told there's going to be music and DJ stuff and things like that. So
DJ Eckler's coming. What?
I'm going to be there. I don't know.
Well, you said like DJing, so I assume.
Well, my son might do it. I don't know. I might bring him and say, push these buttons.
DJ Eckler Jr.
Anybody has any song requests? We could certainly take those. And
it's Tyler, so he's gonna put on like a bunch of Weird Al songs. It's gonna be awesome.
That would be pretty fun. You might like it better than the seniors would. So
yeah, you know what? I'm a big Weird Al fan. I don't think he gets enough credit for how good he is musically. The man wrote a ska song about horoscopes that included a reference to Ernest Borgnine. Like, tell me that's not talent.
Oh, he's talented. We need a Weird Al COVID, don't we? I feel like Weird Al's on TikTok or something like that. Somebody's got.
Well, because I think a bunch of people asked him to do it, and he's like, "No, I'm not doing a COVID song."
Seriously, that happened?
Yeah, like because oh man, what there was like a song that was a natural like connection. He's like, "No, I'm not doing that."
Well, there you go. So, in honor of our first guest, all right, we're going to bring on who's
are we speaking French?
fashionably late. She's not quite in the waiting room yet, but we're gonna honor the first guest that I have.
This is the grand thing ever, and I'm so happy.
I have faith that she will be here, and messages are all sent out. We've got our student council also to share things with. So really looking forward to this one. But the first girl that I want to introduce is one of my students from this year. I had the joy of teaching her in my AP government class. She gave me more memorable moments and things, certainly a video that I'd love to share with everybody that I will be using for years to come in one of our assignments.
I kind of tested that video. Is hilarious.
It was for the Wisconsin v. Yoder case. You guys should look that one up. And she was just awesome to have all year long. I'm happy to have her on. I've been wanting to have her on for a couple of weeks. And she said that she could come on. We're going to celebrate her. So Kiara Howard, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome, Kiara.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I believe she's saying it's an honor to be here, which just
Yes.
flattering to us. You are now on the longest running weekly episodic good news internet-based show in history.
Is this one?
Yeah, so
certainly the only one that's ever been endorsed by both the superintendent and the WTA. Like we take the cake on that one. Now
you're making history.
I know. Kiara, I know that you have some amazing news to share with everybody. Could you please tell everybody the good news that you have to share?
I am going to Howard University in DC after high school, and I am majoring in political science.
Nice.
Yeah.
Government teacher is like super psyched about that because you're going to be in the DC area.
I was a political science major too, and I turned out great.
Oh, that's good.
Do you have plans to go, Kiara? Did you have plans to go to law school?
Yeah, we're gonna see how that goes, but that's the plan right now.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm super excited, and I think you also have a friend from Webster Schroeder who we were trying to get on the show too.
Yeah,
down there with you.
Elijah Larkin. She didn't want to come on because she's kind of a loser, but she's going to Howard.
We should tell everybody you guys are very good friends too.
We are.
I mean,
yeah.
That's super duper important. And I think if I'm not mistaken, I know you might be the first students that we've had that have gone to Howard University. So congratulations on that. I mean, I think you're the ones that I certainly remember in the however long I've been here now, 15 years. But that's a wonderful accomplishment in itself. So we're super proud of you guys, and we know you're going to do us, represent Webster Schroeder very well.
Thank you.
You guys are going places. Now, the second question we always ask our favorites is, do you have a favorite Webster Schroeder memory?
I think I don't have like a specific one, but just senior year going to Madame Rayton's room, even though she's not here, Rip.
She will be.
You know how the French are.
With my friends during lunch and stuff. That was fun. And then also homecoming, which is like everyone's, but that was a fun time. I liked homecoming.
We get homecoming a lot. Our favorite memory. It's almost like we should have more of those weeks.
Yeah. Well, it's luckily we'll have some people on the show today that have their hand in that. So we'll see. Listen, if it was up, it'd be a spirit week every week, and we wouldn't accomplish anything. And that would...
Kiara, could you imagine? We think about this all the time. What would it look like if Mr. Peck and I ran a building?
I think it'd be really fun. I think people would want to come to school.
Would we learn anything though? That's the kicker.
Yeah, probably not, but it's okay.
I think there's up there. It would be a lot of fun, but we might not learn anything.
Yeah.
That's our ringing endorsement that I always feel like I always feel like we could sell it though, Mr. Peck. Definitely have fun while learning. We'd figure out the curriculum as it went along. We kind of
we can take those signs down from above our door that we've one school, one team ones, and you and I will just make personalized ones that say like, and you might learn something.
Come to school, it'll be fun, and you might learn something. That's a great for a new charter school we could start up.
I think we came up with a great Webster slogan.
That'd be so perfect. I think that would be like the ideal slogan.
So, Kiara, my dear, before this devolves just into witty banter between Mr. Eckler and I, and we completely ignore you, which would be horrible. What message would you give to, obviously, school, we're entering the 13th week of, distance learning and school being closed, and, school ends on Monday, the 15th. So what message would you share with other seniors that had to go through the same thing? Or what have you learned during this 13 weeks away from school, and not necessarily like content stuff like, oh, I learned this in, AP Gov. What are some lessons you can take away from this?
I think not being in school made me realize just like how big it was. Like, I can't think. Just like how present it was in my life, and just how I was like there every day. I didn't necessarily take that in when I was there all the time, because it just seemed like routine. It didn't seem like anything, but not being there made me realize just how like long I spent there. And I think that I learned to just like not take anything for granted, like hanging out with my friends and stuff, since we can't do that as often now. So just like being thankful for like every moment I have with my friends. That's it.
That's great.
Thanks.
That's great. I've been, one of the things that I've always taken away, my audio off, taken away from is just how much I've enjoyed hearing seniors, talk about what they've missed. I've talked to a few seniors. Have you stayed in contact with some of your close friends, or?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
You have been able to do that? That's good. I think that's helpful, because I talked to some seniors that said, I've been able to stay in contact with my close friends, but they haven't really seen everybody, and they miss seeing some of the people that they didn't see, routinely on a daily basis, because that's kind of what happens when you go to high school. So I feel like I got to adjust the audios.
I think the biggest thing you probably take for granted, correct me if I'm wrong, obviously Mr. Eckler and I have been out of high school for a while now, is that like those people you interact with like on a daily basis that aren't like your best friends, like aren't the ones you have Snapchat streaks with and you're texting all the time like that. I think that's like a thing that you really miss, like after having a prolonged period of time away from high school.
Yeah, that's true.
Kiara, any summer plans?
Honestly, just getting ready for college, trying to see my friends if I can. And yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest. Oh, and I don't know like what the most recent update is, but like I work at a summer camp. I don't know if they're going to be open or not, but we'll see.
I think they said within the next couple, because phase 3 is supposed to start on Friday. And is your camp like, do they sleep there, or they just go for the day camp?
They just go for the day.
I think day camps are going to be open. I know, like my best friend, his 3-year-old went back to daycare like on Monday. So I think we're all progressing in that positively towards more and more things being open.
Well, then I'll be working this summer.
Have you heard anything from Howard about what the fall is going to look like? Are you still going to have stuff
right
like that?
now, they're still acting like they're going to start in the fall, but they've taken away like triple dorm rooms. And then I think they were talking about like having us go like have a break starting after Thanksgiving.
I've heard that from probably like 4 or 5 colleges now. So I feel like that's probably what a lot of schools are going to go with, is go through till Thanksgiving and then take like longer Christmas/winter break until after the new year.
Yeah.
And Kiara, I'm super, super duper jealous of the fact that you're going to be in DC in 2020 in November, and as a political science major. Like that's exciting to me, and I'll leave it at that.
Why? What's going on this year? Is there like an election or something? What?
And I can't. And I have to share this with all our viewers, because anybody that knows our guest who is coming on to join you. So Kiara had asked Mr. Ayton to join us, and Mr. Ayton, I spoke to her and I said, it's going to be great. You got it on. You got to come on. She goes, oh, I'd love to come on. I told Kiara, said I'd like to see Madame Rayton, and I said that's not a problem. I talked to her. I talked to her yesterday. I signed it up. And we jokingly said before the show that we should have told her it was like 2:00 so that she wouldn't be late, because she's notoriously has a tardiness in her, in that thing. And I'm just getting this text from her right now where she said the word merde, but only in English. So if you know the translation in French, that's what it is. So I know she's trying to come on. So we're going to hold on to you, Kiara, for a little bit if you can.
Okay.
All right? I know she really wanted to come on, and I just find this funny because it's a Madame thing, and I knew she'd make a great guest, and I'm like super excited because I just don't know what's going on in her brain right now.
I think the best part is that we can roast her while she's not here. Also, just quick question. Now, it's funny that we have Kiara here and Madame here. I can circle back to my superlative from this year. Kiara, how would you describe like my room? And you've been in here a couple times for Dream Club meetings and things like that. How would you describe my room versus like Madame's room? Like, whose room is neat?
I know why he's doing this.
More organized versus who seems more like to be a hoarder?
I really honestly, I don't know. I mean,
there's one correct answer here, Kiara.
Madame cleaned out her room like really good. It's pretty neat now. There's
really?
Yeah, it's very vibey. I like it.
I'm gonna go up there right now and see what's going on.
I was there earlier today cleaning out my locker, and it was pretty spacious, I feel like you can't really compare your rooms because they're very different.
I was looking for a really great valuation here, and
I know.
It's okay. It's okay, Kiara. I won't hold it against you.
Kiara, he's very mad that he won the senior superlative with Madame Rayton for being a hoarder, because I will tell you that he is a collector, not a hoarder. And that generally...
Collecting is going to be going up a ratchet now that I'll have like plexiglass and everything will be behind, and there'll be signs that say "Do not touch the exhibits." Really turn this into a museum. It'll be like the Strong Museum of Play because their museum's closed.
All right. We're going to hang out at Kiara here and bring on, who do you want to bring on first, Mr. Peck?
We can bring on Mrs. Jockerman, my student council advisor.
Well, that's not an introduction. I'm going to give her an introduction that's proper.
Okay.
So back when I was a student at Webster High School, because we were one high school there, I had this phenomenal pre-calculus teacher, and she taught me a lot, and I was very grateful to have her in her class, and I love having her now as a colleague because students say the same thing that we said about her for years. She hasn't aged a day since I was a student back in 2001. Miss Johnson, how are you?
Hello, I am great. Such a good introduction. It is an honor to be on the show. And I have to say thanks to you, Kiara, for answering that question so suavely. You didn't say anything about either room. That's nice.
It's almost like she's studying political science, and
I know.
She knew the politically correct answer.
So, Mrs. Jockman, how have you been doing in our 13 weeks away from Webster Schroeder?
I'm doing fine, thank you. It's just, missing the students, missing the teachers. That is the hardest part, as everyone says, but I'm really hoping the salute is awesome and it's a great day for the seniors. And then to go back in the fall, would like not to, but just to be back in the fall. So doing okay.
It'll be interesting to see like what homecoming looks like in the fall and all those things. Like we might just have an easy job doing student council in the fall if we don't have.
We could bring students in 10 at a time for each of the bleachers.
Well, technically, if Mr. Peck and I line up the CIA class, we could just call the pep rally a protest, and we can have up to 100 according to the governor.
There we go.
Right.
We'll be protesting whoever we're playing that week in the football game. It'll be great.
Better late than never. Always to make a fashionable entrance. Just here at Kiara Howard. She's gotten herself together. She's ready to go. She only said mirrored twice. Madame Rayton, how are you?
Yay! Oh là là, je croyais que c'était hier. Bon, je vais parler en anglais. I'll speak in English.
Thank you.
Okay.
We don't have the version with subtitles and stuff.
The what?
That's another tier of this program, I think, for subtitles.
Oh, I think I said that.
What's going on?
I'm just so happy that you were late for the show. It's really, I'm just so happy that you were able to live
in
up.
like Kramer. Woo!
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like you are the
Dan,
cra-
I'm gonna hang on to you. But we talked to Kiara. Kiara is, of course, going to Howard University in the fall.
So proud of you.
She wanted to make sure that she had you on as a teacher and talked about memories in your classroom, and we had that. And so I reached out to you to be on the show. So I don't know if you have any positive memory, of Kiara in class or something you wanted to say. Well wishes for her.
Oh my gosh, I have tons of memories of Kiara. We have 3 years together, but this year was our hangout year. She came in every day, and I got all the scoop and the cheers and the celebration.
The tea, as the kids say.
The tea, yes, always the tea. Oh, I got all my lingo updates from Kiara and the rest of the crew that came in. But like I said in Kiara's recommendation letter, I was really proud to write that letter, because what I like about Kiara is that she's always stands up for what she believes in, but in a nice way. I said that about you. I don't know if you knew that, Kiara. That's one of the redeeming things that I love about her the most, and she's so honest and forthcoming with everything that she says. I know that she's gonna be awesome in school and in the future. So I'm so proud of you, Kiara. I'm gonna be sad not to see you next year.
Me too. It's okay. I'm gonna bother you when I come back.
Good. I like to get bothered. Just sneak in.
Kiara, I hope you come back and bother all of us. It would be a welcome distraction because it wouldn't be bothering us.
You know what? You can come back and visit, and Mr. Eckler and I will get in trouble from the sentries, and it'll be great. It's like a rite of passage. It's really, at this point, it's become a rite of passage where we tell kids and we just
do not like us
rules, and then we invariably have a showdown with the sentries, and we're like, we don't care. We want kids to come visit us.
Yeah. You should not have said that.
What do you mean? We have a meeting.
Yeah.
Of course they're coming in.
Oh, they really don't like us, so we do that. All right, so Kiara, thank you so much for coming on the show. Madam, I'm going to hang on to you because there's some other students that want to see you as well. We're only allowed to have you on the show. So Kiara, thanks so much. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Howard University.
Good time, Kiara.
Bye, Kiara.
Bye.
All right, Mr. Beck,
I will step up my introduction abilities here since I've been being criticized for them on the show. So the first two I'll have bring on. I'll save El Presidente for our last guest here. But I was talking to Mr. Eckler about wanting to do a student council show. So I'm glad that we have a wonderful co-advisor, Mrs. Jacquemin, on with us. The two of us. I think this is our third year of doing student council together.
Yes.
And I think we're really gelling as a unit. You remember to do all the paperwork, which I never remember to do. And it is great. And I think the coolest thing is that legitimately every senior that has been on this show since episode 1 said that their favorite memory from Schroeder, from high school, has been a Spirit Week and homecoming. And
that's awesome.
It's cool because I know I know that week of homecoming we're here 60 hours that week. So it's been cool to hear that that's so important to our students. And I wanted to bring some of the students on that are responsible for helping plan it every single year. So our two first student council guests are one of our senior class representatives, my key partner, which she'll explain later, Liba Khan. So welcome, Liba. And the other guest that we're going to bring right on is our treasurer.
Hi, Madame.
Our treasurer, we get more emails and texts from Mrs. Jack and I to fill this out or sign this or so on and so forth. And she has been an excellent sport about it the entire time. So please welcome Abby to the show.
Hi.
Welcome, Abby.
Hello. I'm honored to be here.
I love the way you say hello. Abby, you're just one of my favorite people. I have a lot of favorite people, but you're awesome.
Oh, I'm glad. Thanks. You're one of my favorite people too.
Aw. I think one of my favorite memories this year was when it was Senior Citizens Day and the hallways are swarmed with approximately 2,000 old people. And see if some of the people that you work, because you work at one of the nursing homes, right?
Yeah.
You did. And you wanted to see, you were nervous about wading into that large crowd of elderly people to see if you could find. So we went together as a team. I led the way. I blocked for you. Didn't the old people, but we got.
Old people can be scary sometimes. You never know what they're gonna do.
For our viewers who are wondering what happened to Madame, she said she's a hot mess, loves everybody, and her computer just died. So I don't know if she's going to come back. But while we got her gone,
in the meantime,
you're honoring student council,
we can bring on our third student council guest, literally the president of the school, the president of Webster Schroeder, my friend and yours, Max Parmley.
And former president of the class 2022, Max Parmley.
Woo!
How's it going?
Now, I have a big reveal for the student council members. It's not so much of a big reveal, but anybody that's watching the show can get a preview. Liba already knows, but the class of 2020 has purchased t-shirts for the seniors. And I know that Mr. Peck and Ms. Joachim, we had a battle for an extended period of time about the colors of the senior class. And I know that Max really wanted it, and everybody said this, and they wanted to make sure that like they could have a black shirt. And we went in and said, well, we're trying to change the culture, and you guys got on board and you sucked it up and you did the right thing. But as our gift to you, we are going to purchase black t-shirts for the entire class of 2020, and you'll be getting them on Friday. And this is the logo.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that's cool.
That's so cute. Thank you.
I can't wait for the comments to the show to be filled up with like angry members of the class of 2019. They're gonna be like, I didn't get to wear a black shirt.
Oh my God, yeah, I'm glad my sister's in the other room.
Yeah, man, my email, I'm checking my email, make sure there's no like hate mail filling up the inbox already. All right, good. You never know. But I'm so happy to have you guys on because, obviously we talked about one of the favorite memories of all of the seniors that have been on the show has been homecoming. You guys have had your hands in that for, 3 or 4 years now. So that's kudos to you. I know we say this a lot that we're going to miss the class of 2020, and we are, but like you, especially you guys that have been in student council, Ms. Joachim and I have worked so closely with, it's going to be very difficult to say goodbye to you guys. So thank you for being on the show, for everything you've done for Webster Schroeder.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having
You had a
me.
lot of energy and great leadership, guys.
Thank you.
No, and
Mr. Peck and I are going to be speaking of the class of 2020 and comparing everybody to it for an extended period of time. So
100%. You will be I will measure every now that I'm like teaching seniors primarily and just teaching seniors for the foreseeable future. Like, I hope they know like what big shoes they have to fill, like when they come in here.
Max, would you like to share your good news?
I have 2 things actually. So first, I committed to Temple University. I'm gonna be going there to get my BFA in musical theater in the fall.
Congratulations.
Huge.
Thank you. And Temple will be open as long as it's not illegal for colleges to be open.
Like, what a sentence you never thought you would say. You're like, I'll be going. It's not illegal.
And then the other thing, the other day, somebody showed up at my door, and it was my 6th grade science teacher, and she adopted me as a senior, and I thought it would be cool to share because she was also the student council advisor there. So Mrs. Gillen adopted me.
Yay!
Yeah.
That's great. I do want to mention this. The people who are running that page, because there's not a school affiliated and it's on Facebook, they really want to make sure every senior gets adopted. So if there is anybody out there that you guys know hasn't been adopted yet, there's some logistics about sharing names and things like that they really can't have access to. So they've been trying to reach out to people. So if you guys know of anybody that hasn't quite been adopted yet and you want to pass their name onto, myself or know how to get there. They want to try to make sure that everybody gets adopted as best they can. But there's also some people that may or may not want to be. So they're trying to be respectful. So have all of you guys been adopted? I know Max has.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Nice. So,
I got
Abby,
that.
twice? Wow. Abby, what good news do you have to share with us, my dear?
Well, my good news is that I'm going to St. John Fisher next year, and I'm going for nursing.
Hey.
That's Mr. Eckler's alma mater. He's very
I'm
happy.
glad to know that my loan money is getting put to good use. That's good.
I'm so excited to go.
Great
And,
school, great campus.
and Mrs. Strikey adopted me, and she got me like such good gifts. And I emailed her and I said thanks and stuff. And I'm so excited to use them because they're going to be so useful for next year in college.
Awesome. And Liba, my pinky partner, what's your good news?
So next year I'm going to the University at Buffalo, and I'm going to get my BA in psychology.
Nice.
And I was adopted by, so one of my best friends, Jake, his mom and I are very close, so he adopted me, so it was kind of nice.
Does your sister go to UB too?
No, my sister goes to Duquesne.
Yeah. And you're working hard,
UB.
Liba, you're working hard on finishing your AP Gov homework.
Yes,
Correct?
I am. Very hard, I promise.
I know you are. I know you get that done.
And
I have
for Max and
right there.
for Max and Liba, I didn't even think I must have subconsciously done this, but I'm wearing a Chicago White Sox jersey today. There's that point over there.
Oh, wow.
It's hard to see. I wore my Chicago White Sox jersey today because last year we went to Chicago together, which was a great highlight of the year for me.
Ms. Jockman, if you could hang on 1 second, I'm going to do one thing for our show. Okay, Madame, now that you're back, I will gladly allow you to address the three seniors before we bring out Ms. Jockman back onto the show. Because I know that you're working hard. And I don't know if you've had Max or Abby or Liba or all three.
Well, I had Liba and Abby, and Max is adopted in because it's language club of, Hall's room and Samira's room and, part of the crew. So I'm proud of you guys too. Max, and you forgot to say that you got the seal of biliteracy, right?
I did. I got my seal.
Nice.
Bravo.
Madame, do we have numbers on how many Schroeder students got the seal of biliteracy this year?
I think there was 41 total, but most of them were from Schroeder. From between.
Oh, that's great. I didn't need that comparison. We're like a good news show.
Well, I'm just trying to think. No, I'm happy for everybody. But
They don't have a good news show. I was just trying to highlight the district.
More good news for us.
I'm trying to throw. No, I think we had a great number of kids that got the CL. So Max being one of them.
Well, congratulations to Max and to you guys that did that, and certainly the entire foreign language department.
It's really good news.
Good work.
Now, Madame, you've been a great guest. I'm going to let you go so I can bring Miss Jockman back on so we can celebrate them. But you were awesome. Thanks so much for working and making sure
in the dumb fashion, right?
Say something in French that's like not going to get us in trouble.
Je sais pas. Je vous souhaite une bonne fin d'année et j'espère que vous allez revenir pour me voir. J'espère que Liba va faire ses devoirs aussi parce qu'elle n'a pas fini à faire ses devoirs pour la classe de français comme dans ta classe, Monsieur Eckler.
Okay, now here's your test. I just kicked her out. What did she just say?
Okay, so the first half of it was a little bit jumbled up, but the second half, she called me out. And she said that you have to finish your French homework as well as your AP Gov homework.
Yes.
I heard it and I was like, oh my God, she's really calling me out right now. Okay, but I'm sorry.
I like to think that there's somebody in France that accidentally stumbled upon this show and is gassed.
But it sounded so eloquent, though. I mean, you got roasted in a nice way.
Right. I got roasted, but it was really pretty.
It
And
was.
you did it again. You did it again with a smile on your face, like you always have. All of you guys really do, which is so wonderful. All right.
So I'm gonna ask you guys a variation of the question we've asked everybody else. I'm gonna ask you, what's your favorite memory of being in student council? And
I don't mind right off the bat.
all right, go ahead, Liba.
So, especially this year, I think that my favorite memory was probably doing crushes, but more specifically, there was one day, Max, I don't know if you were there, Abby, I think you were there, but there was one day where we were counting out all the crushes, doing all of Michael's, because he had like 200. And I remember me and Joe had to just like keep running to Wegmans to get like 7 or 8 cases of crushes. And that was just always my favorite, because just when we thought we had enough, we never did. So like that always just makes me laugh.
I don't think there's been a time in the crush sale in 3 years where we ever like accurately like know how many crushes we need. Like, there's always like 300 should be good, right? And like,
But like no, Michael gets 300 alone by himself.
Right. That was awesome.
and like we even have the numbers we sell every year. Like we still never like. One of these days we're gonna figure out a way to label those crushes like quickly, accurately, and it's gonna be the greatest day of my life.
I very much enjoy the social awkwardness of the delivery as a teacher that has seniors and sophomores, because the sophomore ones sometimes come as a crush and then as a joke and then to a friend, and you're trying to like sort it out. So you have to have this big announcement of where it's going to go, and that generally is breaks up my lesson very nicely when you guys deliver those. So I applaud the crush sale.
Good.
Max, favorite memory?
All right, Abby, every time you and I went on the morning show, we would always have to plan it. We never planned what we had to say, and I thought it was so fun sitting down in that chair and being like, all right, what do we have for everyone today?
Yeah,
Especially when we ask you, don't forget to write something down.
I don't think we've ever had a plan. Mr. Peck, have we ever had a script when we went on the morning show? I don't think you
No, but it's always funny with Max because I'd always text him and be like, Max, you need to mention these 3 things. Like, here are the important details. And he'd be like, hey, it's Max and Abby. And like, we're here from student council to talk about, I don't know.
I would
It'll be awesome.
also have my phone right in front of me, so there's no excuse.
Be like, all right, this is what I need to say. Like, then we'd have to go on the next day and like repeat like whatever it was. But you guys were always so excited to go on the morning show that like there's no way we were ever going to send anybody else on.
But we got views. Everyone would tune in. So
yeah.
The one thing we know about the morning show is that when students are on it, that are not normally on it, because I know everybody works really hard at that every day, they tend to watch. They tend to, and I know Mr. Gomez and Ms. Kuhlman are trying to work something out about, making that more of a student-centered show as much as possible to gain some popularity out of it and use it in different ways. So hopefully we can boost good things. Max, we'll have you to thank for that.
Your enduring legacy of the president of the entire school.
Abby, what's your favorite? Yeah, sorry.
Well,
Your
my
favorite student council.
is probably the same as Max's, just because I thought that was so funny. Especially because like I was never on the morning show like ever until this year, so like I was just so awkward, and then I always be so nervous. Like, Max, you talk first. But like, if I had to pick a different favorite memory, it would probably be when we were planning like spring fling or whatever we wanted it to be, and like our inside joke of another night in Paris. I thought it was so funny.
A lot of nights in Paris.
I'm so bummed. Like, obviously, like COVID took a lot of things away from us, but like having that dance another night in Paris, I was so amused by that joke that we came up with for ourselves. Mainly just so we could reuse everything and didn't have to buy new stuff.
Yeah.
Which, like, I think, like, now we're pulling back the curtain. Like, half of what we do in student council is literally just to, like, amuse ourselves and, like, hopefully other people enjoy it, too. Like, I know Mr. Cox and I have picked, like, all of the faculty themes for homecoming, like, mainly based on, like, what we want and, like, what like, you really wanted, like, the Western theme, like, a couple years ago, I think.
I did.
Yeah. Like, I got a really good outfit. We're gonna make this a theme.
Yeah. We ordered all those badges too. That was great. I think I still have it somewhere.
I know.
Well, you guys always do a good job, and it shows because the students keep coming on and talking about how much we love. They love the Spirit Week, and I think Ms. Jackman, I know you were around when we did Senior Week, and that used to be a favorite for all seniors, and I think it's kind of shifted because we no longer do Senior Week. Maybe someday, but it's shifted to Spirit Week for the seniors, and I think I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad to help out with you guys. I know it's a lot of work. It happens at the beginning of the year, and the district and calendar dates move on you frequently, and other things. And we always tend to have a good time. And I'm proud to serve as the DJ as long as you guys will have me.
You heard it here, guys. You volunteer.
Mark it down.
Hey, Abby was supposed to DJ the Spring Fling.
I know.
Right.
I was so excited, and then my dreams came crashing down when it got canceled.
Abby, on Friday when you come through, if you want to hop out of your car and be the DJ for a few minutes, we can make that dream a reality.
Maybe
I don't know if we're allowed to, but
well, we'll do it. We made a promise on Schroeder Good News. We have to follow through on it now.
Right.
I'm just thinking about how the whole progression of seniors, the whole thing's going to get held up because we're getting Abby out of her car.
Please, I am supposed to say this. Please be careful as you guys are driving. I know some people want to pool together in cars, but really any more than 4 seniors in a car might be a problem because then we're trying to do 10 cars at a time. That's a recommendation, not a requirement. But I'll put that out there as I think it's good that we might have carpooling, assuming people are safe and comfortable doing that, and that's their decision. But if we all of a sudden 30 kids show up in a pickup truck, that could be hard for us to handle. Ms. Jagaman, do you want to say anything about these fantastic students that you guys have had?
Oh my gosh, you guys have really been great this year. And literally, at any meeting, when we said who has to do this, those first 2 words were definitely, we're going on the morning show. So that would be a better I definitely remember. And no, I just wish you the best of luck. And I wish we had obviously ended with more of an epic ending, but keep us posted on what you're doing. That's for sure.
We'll bring you back next year for a pizza party, Elise. How about that?
Oh yeah, well, we're gonna come bug the new student council people and show them how they have to live up to big shoes,
Yeah,
Mentor.
and we'll make sure
program.
that you can come home from college break to help with the crush sales.
Oh,
Yeah.
please let me. Please, I would love to.
I mean, Abby definitely can come back for it. She'll be 15 minutes away.
I will be there in a split second. I need to come.
Awesome. Awesome.
So I guess the last question that we always ask too is what have you guys learned? Any lessons you've learned over the past 13 weeks? That you would like to share with the other members of the class of 2020.
Well, for me, one of them is since we're not going to have a senior ball and we're not having the end of the year festivities like usual and a normal graduation, I've learned don't dwell on the negative because it's not gonna the more you feel bad for yourself, it's not gonna make anything better. It's just gonna make it worse, and you just have to make the most of the situation.
Yeah,
that's great advice.
Positive
Every
attitude.
time we have seniors on this show, they amaze me. I feel like I have not lived up to what I'm supposed to be doing at Webster Schroeder at all. You guys are really a special group. Really.
I know. We're always after you guys share your advice, we're always speechless afterwards and we don't know what to do. And now I find myself in a scenario where I am the responsibility that the class of 2020 has bestowed on me to be the constant speaker. It's how do I speak to this amazing class? I don't want to let you guys down. That is what goes through my head as I sit here and write down ideas and so forth. It's I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself because you guys are such a special group. I don't want to let you down. So even if it's
sure,
great job. Okay.
I'm sure you will do just fine. Mr.
Agreed.
Peck, with complete confidence and faith in you. Now, my favorite question for the last thing before we go.
We need Lib and Max to answer. They haven't given.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
What I would say is, I know that this has kind of been a common theme, but don't take things for granted. Like, I never thought that, you know, like sitting in the senior lounge joking about Abby getting her wisdom teeth out and like never going to like the last time I was going to see her for 2 months, or like being in Gov talking about whatever we were arguing about that day. Like, I never thought that'd be the last time that we'd be sitting in class. It's kind of just like, don't take things for granted and be more in the moment, because you never know when's the last time that you're going to be there.
That was awesome. So true.
Now, Mr. President, Max, what do you got for us?
So I would just, it's not something I learned in the past 13 weeks, but it's kind of been my mantra these past couple of years. I would just say that, like, be kind to people, because you never know what people are going through. And I know it sounds like so cheesy, but it's so important. Our happiness comes from people being kind to us. So if you go to school and you hate being there because people are mean to you, you're not going to enjoy the things that we're talking about, like homecoming and like watching us mess up on the morning show and stuff. So just try your best. I know it's hard not to talk about people and stuff, but just be kind.
And Max, I think that's an important message for our junior class to hear. Wouldn't you agree?
I don't think I'm picking up on the reference, but yeah.
I thought you were always big on that junior-senior rivalry that we had going on during Spirit Week. That's what I was referencing.
Oh,
we always
okay.
wanted to have good. But never mind. I was my last question, and Mr. Peck and I have one show left. We decided we were going to have 10 at 10. 10 is like a round out number. And while I think we would have every single member of the class 2020 on here too. We're going to hopefully put out a call to the staff, the Webster Schroeder staff, and have as many teachers who want to come on and say something. So is there a staff member that you guys think would make a great guest on our show that you know people would love to hear from? It can be, current, retired. It could be anywhere from I would say Webster Schroeder. I mean, we had a couple of Spry teachers on too, so we certainly can do that. But if there's somebody you guys would really like to hear from that you haven't heard from yet.
Has Mr. Orlando been on yet?
Yeah, has Mr. Orlando been on?
We got to have him back on because he was on like our lost episode, like episode
Yes.
1, our pilot.
Mr. Orlando is Zooming now, and I have had him in my classes, and so I'm purposely going to reach out to that and see if we can get Mr. Orlando back on the show.
You should get Mr. Orlando in our class tomorrow for our last class.
I think he's coming.
Oh, yes.
So that's easy.
I just personally, I had like a flood of teachers come to my mind, but I really am interested to see Mrs. McGee, because I've been following her like whole journey, and her baby's due in July, and my birthday's in July, and I really want her baby to come on my birthday.
I think we can. I don't know about the due date, but I'm pretty sure we can get Miss McGee Gebhardt to get on the show, right, Mr. Peck?
Yeah. That'll be like my sixth video call with Gebhardt in like the past week.
She's doing just fine with it. Abby, what about you?
I love Mrs. Surgeon and Mr. Prinsey.
Oh,
Well, I would love Prinsey to come on because I love Emmeline. She's the cutest. And Mr. Prinsey, he's just so funny without funny. Like, he just never
He opens his mouth and you start laughing.
This is the perfect definition of frenzy.
I can't wait to text him and be like, we were talking. The best part too is like I'll text him and I'll be like, we were talking about you on the show, and he'll immediately like it's like a porcupine, like his quills will be like, what did you say? What were you talking about? Like,
what are you talking about?
yeah, exactly. And I'm just gonna string along, like, oh, like Abby said. Well, what did Abby say? It'll be great. Myself for an hour doing this.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for being on our show, especially Kiara Howard, who left earlier, and Miss Rayton, who left earlier, and certainly all of you guys. You make this a lot of fun for us. This is the best part of my week. It's been the best part of my week since we've been doing it. And I think Mr. Peck would echo that same statement.
Yeah, and just I wanna reiterate, just thank you guys for all you've done for Webster Schroeder, especially this year and the past years. Like you guys have made this school and this place and this community a better place because of your actions. And please keep doing that as you move forward. Like you guys have done. I was just thinking, we were talking about it, Ms. Jock and I were talking about when we were here a couple weeks ago doing some paperwork. Like you guys donated over 150 toys to the Pirate Toy Fund. We raised money, and I believe we sent a check for almost $1,000 to the World Kitchen for Jose Andreas to feed those that are affected by disasters and COVID and so on and so forth. We helped with the One Tree and One Warrior Week. Like you guys have just spread so much good in this school that it's going to be really, really hard to fill your shoes next year. So I'm really proud of the work we've done.
And thank you for the impact that you've left on Schroeder. It's been great. Really.
Thank you guys so much. All right. That's our show. We're clocking in a little under the 50 minutes. It was an amazing thing. So thanks, everybody. Tune in next week for our final episode.
Season 1 finale next week. Thank you, Mr. Jockman, everybody.